is people perceive this as a woman's problem. It is not, right? Because I, I
Yeah.
I had a man, many times mansplain me that men don't have emotional eating issues, and we just happened to get past the Super Bowl, and I'm like, okay, next time you watch a football game, I want you to have like lettuce boats and celery. Right, because we also
Yeah.
associate food with experience, right? And so I think we have all these things that contribute to how we pair food with our emotions, right?
Yeah, no, it's really true. People don't understand even that they're doing it themselves, and I actually have a quiz on my website where people can find out if they're an emotional eater or even a food addict, because I really see it as a spectrum, but I feel like everybody is somewhere on that spectrum. Like, we all can, like, I feel like we're wired to have an emotional connection with food. I mean, think of breastfeeding. It's the most, bonding experience there is, early on in a child's life. And so, food, eating, emotions, they do go together. It's just a matter of how far you take it. And so, like, for my quiz, for instance, the way somebody determines if they're an emotional eater or a food addict, it's really two main qualifiers. One is the level of control they have, like, can they course correct? Can they pull back? Like, you have a bad night, fine, then you're good the rest of the week and you're, back on track. Or do you lose control and then it's weeks or months before you're back on your clean eating plan? And the other is consequences. What are the level of consequences you're experiencing? And, the older we are and the longer we've been emotionally eating, the more consequences we have typically. Then our gut is talking to us, right? Our hormones are talking to us, diabetes, pre-diabetes, heart disease. I mean, there's all kinds of consequences, not to mention depression, anxiety, like low libido. All these things are affected by our relationship with food, by our relationship with our bodies.
I'd love to talk a little bit about kind of how this occurs because I think some of it is definitely nurture. It's the you fell down, you get a cookie, you were good, you get a this. We get to go out for ice cream. You have this during your birthday. So we learn these associations. And again, we're not celebrating with broccoli.
Right.
We have these celebrations with food or other things. So I think
Yep.
there's some nurture, but there's some physiological reasons why we have this attachment to food, and I think it's both.
Absolutely, and that's certainly true for sugar especially. Like, I was really addicted to sugar, and I didn't realize how hard my weight loss efforts were, trying to eat sugar still. Like, if I ate anything with sugar in it, that's all I wanted to eat. Like, I was addicted to sweet, and so, there's definitely the physical aspect of literally what we're eating, and the sugar and the processed carbs are addictive. And if you're trying to eat measured amounts, it's going to be hard. Like, you're going to go overboard. And the manufacturers, food manufacturers, absolutely know this. They are putting sugar into everything, like the most ridiculous things, sugar in potato chips. Like, that makes no sense. Sugar in salad dressings, gross, but our buds get used to it. And then if it's not sweet, we don't want it. So it does keep us coming back for more. We are an addicted nation in terms of the amount of sugar, corn syrup, and every other name for sugar. There's 80 plus names for sugar. And so when they're being snuck into our food, I mean, I show people how to read the labels. And if you don't know all the different names, you'll miss it. Like, you'll miss it because like, you can have a quote health bar that's got like 5 different kinds of sugar or different names of sugar in there just so they can get more in there, and it's not a health bar, it's a candy bar, you know?
How can someone tell the difference between an emotional eating desire and a physical eating desire, the real hunger?
Yeah, and that's hard because they feel like the same sometimes. I've been doing this work for 35 years, and sometimes I'm like, "No, really, I'm really hungry. Like, I really am hungry." I'll tell myself, "I'm starving." It's like, "Really? Oh, yeah, really." But the thing is, what has helped and what I teach my clients is to eat on a regular schedule. Like, I call it 3-meal magic, which is 3 meals a day with nothing in between. And even if somebody wants to intermittent fast, I say put 12 or 13 hours between dinner and breakfast, but still have a breakfast, because the regular schedule of, meals can help, with 4 or 5 hours between each meal, it can really help somebody start to get acquainted with what's hunger on a physical level and what's hunger on an emotional level. And if you are eating on a regular basis, so much of our problem is we've been such erratic eaters, on every which diet there is, and fasting, starving and then binging. And we're all over the place. And it's like we have to come home and get on like a very self-caring, grounded schedule. Like treat our bodies with love and respect and don't put them on these, roller coaster rides.